Hartshead Pike is a hill northeast of Ashton-under-Lyne, about 287 metres above sea level, and it's visible from a lot of places across East and Greater Manchester. But the tower standing on top isn't actually the first one built there, it's not even the second, because the site has a history going back hundreds of years, and it's probably been used as a beacon or lookout as far back as 1426, although there's no physical evidence left today. But given how far you can see from the top, it definitely makes sense. The oldest solid proof we have is a sandstone plaque built into today's tower dated 1751, which actually belonged to an earlier structure that stood until it was hit by lightning in 1794 and slowly fell apart afterwards until it finally collapsed around 1820. When the first Ordnance Survey map came out in 1844, the tower wasn't marked, but there was still a rounded shape shown at the summit, probably representing the base or ruins of that earlier tower. And nearby there were two smaller rectangular features. One matches up with what's often called a well today, and the other matches a small pile of rubble that's still there. And because the map marked the area as sandstone quarries, it's likely the old tower stone was taken away and reused. The tower you see today was built in 1863 to celebrate the marriage of the Prince of Wales, later King Edward VII, to Princess Alexandra, and there's a plaque on the tower explaining this and mentioning that it was funded by public subscription and that the foundation stone was laid by Samuel Duckworth Lees, who was the mayor of the manor. And it also mentions George Harry Booth Grey, the 7th Earl of Stamford, who was lord of the manor at the time. You can also see the Earl's family crest carved on the tower, featuring two unicorns, and the motto "À ma puissance," which means "according to my power," and it's the same crest you'll find on Ashton Market Hall, clearly linking the tower to the area's land-owning aristocracy, and not just to the royal marriage. There's another structure beside the tower that's circular and made from stone, with a large flat rock covering the opening, and it's usually called a well. But that doesn't really make sense, because given how high up it is on a sandstone ridge, you'd have to dig extremely deep to reach groundwater, so it's much more likely that it's actually an air shaft from Broadcar Colliery, a coal mine that operated just north of Hartshead Pike, and the heavy stone slab on top is probably just there as a safety cover. From the viewpoint beside the tower, you can easily see nearby landmarks like Brown Edge about half a kilometre away, and Buckton Castle about 3 kilometres away, and Wildbank just under 4 kilometres out. Then looking further out, there's Manchester city centre about 13 kilometres away, Bolton roughly 25 kilometres to the northwest, and Winter Hill with its transmitter mast at around 33 kilometres distant. And if it's really clear, you can see even further away to Jodrell Bank, nearly 38 kilometres out, Fiddler's Ferry Power Station at about 50 kilometres distance, and sometimes you might even spot the Welsh Hills, which are more than 100 kilometres away, making it obvious why Hartshead Pike has long been important as a beacon or observation point, and why it still attracts visitors today, because the views really are impressive. Hartshead Pike Tower might look like just another Victorian folly, but when you look carefully it turns out to be much more complicated, with a history covering medieval beacons, damaged and rebuilt towers, quarrying, aristocratic symbolism and industrial features. So although it looks simple, there's actually much more to it than you might expect.